Hello, I'm Dr. Kajal from Jaipuria Institute of Management, Lucknow, a faculty in the area of business communication. And the topic that I plan on talking about today is persuasive communication. Well, what we had yesterday was an insight into the course outline and the assessment tasks related to public speaking and persuasion, which is your course for this particular trimester. Now, the session which we will be taking on henceforth is persuasive communication. And before I move into what persuasive communication is all about, I want you to have a look at this video out there.
न चिंता ना फिकर ना है डर ये वादा है हमारा हर दम हर कदम धूप छाँव में भी हम साथ साथ हैं जीवन के हर पल में पास है हर दिल की है हम धड़कन है किरण है रोशन ना चिंता ना फिकर ना है डर
LIC का हो साथ तो फिक्र की छोड़ो बात.
Now, once you have seen the video, you would have understood na chinta na fikar na koi dar, right? This is related to SBI life insurance. So again, if you look at the ad, what the ad is basically trying to do is persuade or convince you into going in for a life insurance policy. Now, overall, if we talk about the definition of persuasion as is there out here in front of you, it is the act or process of presenting arguments. Now, why would you want to present an argument? For a number of reasons, right? Number one, you might want to move your audience, motivate the audience, or maybe change the belief of your audience. So these are the reasons why we technically want to go in for persuading any one person or a number of people. You would have done this in your own life as well. For example, imagine a political leader, and we all have seen so many elections and the canvassing and the polling and the campaigns that go on. So what exactly are these political leaders trying to do? They're trying to persuade you or convince you into their idea of voting for them, because if you do that, they have said a number of things which you believe that they would live up to. Similarly, you would also or might have persuaded your parents into giving you the car keys or the bike keys. Now, can you think of some more examples? When we meet in class tomorrow, I'll be asking you about other examples wherein you have persuaded a person or maybe a number of people. Now, when we talk of persuasive communication, Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, somewhere in his 300 BC, who existed way back then, had spoken about rhetoric. In fact, one of his primary works is Aristotle's Rhetoric. So in it, he speaks about three pillars of persuasive communication. The first is logos, which is the appeal to logic. The second is pathos, which is the appeal to emotions. And the third is ethos, which is the appeal to ethics. So when we talk about logos, a very simple example, as you can see out there, is that of wearing a seat belt while driving. Why? Because it says that seat belts are safe for everyone. This is simple logic, clear cut. So I mean, if you love your life and the lives of those who are near and dear to you, you would always advise them to wear a seatbelt while driving, right? So this is logic. When we talk of pathos, pathos is in fact an appeal to emotions. Now, this is an ad apt which I thought I would put out here in front of you. As you can see, I've got Ranbir Kapoor giving a bottle of Coca-Cola to Paresh Rawal, and the punchline over there is #SayItWithCoke. And all those bottles out there which you see, they have got one caption or the other. Like, for example, the first says, "You're beautiful." The second is "All is well." The third says, "Chak de India." Once again, what we're trying to do is appeal to the emotions of the person in front of us so that they buy into our idea. Now, in this case, what is Ranbir Kapoor trying to do? Obviously sell Coke, right? And the third is an example of ethos, which means we're talking about the ethics or the credibility of the speaker. A brilliant example, Amitabh Bachchan, Do Boon Zindagi Ki, right? Now he's trying to persuade you into the idea of going in for polio drops, right? For small kids. Now this was a very successful campaign. And people generally tend to believe whatever Big B is saying. Why? Because he is Big B. He stands for something. He is a person of character, of ethics. If the same ad, mind you, was to be run by this gentleman, Shakti Kapoor, Lolita, it would definitely not have worked, right? So it would not have the same impact. Hence, for the ethics of the speaker, you have to be credible. You have to live up to what you say. You have to live up to whatever it is you promise to deliver. Now, what I want you to do is have a look at this particular link out here and maybe discuss in the next class exactly what are the techniques of persuasion that this particular couple has used. It's a Shark Tank video and one of my personal favorites. Why we'll be discussing that in class. And this particularly is linked to the Persuasive Social Media Communication Assessment Task 2, which carries 40 marks. So what we have discussed in this flipped video first and foremost is what persuasion is, what are the 3 pillars of persuasion, along with valid examples. I want you to think of your own examples post this video. And the second thing is, of course, look at this link of the YouTube video to a Shark Link episode and tell me what are the techniques of persuasion in terms of logos, pathos, and ethos by the pictures of this particular business idea. That would be all. See you in class. Thank you so much.